What's up, you animals? It is Jammo Rising, and I just watched Death on the Nile, Kenneth Branagh's follow-up to 2017's Murder on the Orient Express. Branagh himself plays Hercule Poirot, famous detective and mustachioed enjoyer of sweets. The film is about a death on the Nile, as the geniuses in the audience will have deduced, as well as the subsequent investigation with some twisties and some turnies and maybe a few extra moidas along the way. It's an Agatha Christie story, if that means anything to you. I had high hopes for this because I really enjoyed Murder on the Orient Express. Not that one. No, dude, not that one either. The Kenneth Branagh one, man. Get it on screen. Thank you. Jesus, freaking interns. But worth noting, I was unfamiliar somehow with the original storyline, so I enjoyed putting my detective hat on and trying to unravel the mystery along with Poirot. Good movie in my book, anchored by solid filmmaking and stellar performances, but I can't compare it to any other rendition. Didn't see the old movie, didn't read the book, nothing. Same with Death on the Nile, except I enjoyed it far less. The acting was still great when it's Kenneth Branagh as Poirot. He is phenomenal, and everyone else does a pretty good job, but the movie just doesn't look nice. Holy crap, the CGI is so fake, and it's everywhere. I guess the logistics of shooting a movie on location in a boat in Egypt were prohibitive. I really have no idea, but man, there had to have been a better way. I mean, John Huston did it without CG in 1951 while slam-hammered on whiskey with Humphrey Bogart. How hard can it be? I saw more convincing environments in Assassin's Creed Origins 5 years ago, and even when it's not CG, the level of bloom is so cranked off the scale it nearly burns your retinas. The DP either needed to take a chill pill or lay off the chill pills. I felt like I was wandering around in someone else's Percocet daydream. Anyway, minus points for looks. My other big problem is one that I admit may not really be the movie's fault, but it was still a big problem for me nevertheless. I guessed the entire trajectory of the film very early on. I'll avoid spoilers, but it was just right before me, plain as Wonder Bread, in like one of the first scenes. I was like, oh, that's who's gonna die. And that's who did it, and this is why. I assure you this is not just to tickle my mystery-solving pickle in front of you, dear viewer, and to prove it, I will also admit I didn't guess the end to the original, or to Knives Out, which, by the way, is superior to both of these films, if you want a clever mystery. In any case, since I was sure of the mystery, the details along the way had all the intrigue sucked out of them, excepting a few unexpected turns. So let's tally it up. The plot held very little magic for me, and I was extremely put off by the garish cinematography, and that obvious unreality really ripped me out of this supposedly historical setting. The cast do their best to make it work though. You got Russell Brand in an unusually reserved role, Annette Bening as a wry old damsel, Armie Hammer is prominently featured, I'm so sorry to say. The interaction between Sophie Okonedo and Kenneth Branagh was hilarious and touching, and I found great joy just in the pure performance of Hercule Poirot. And that performance is so good that I might just recommend Death on the Nile. I think I am. Barely. It just squeaks by, but the performance is that good. And hey, you might not guess the end, in which case you'll probably enjoy it more than I did. So weird, man. Belfast was one of my favorite movies last year, and it feels like it was made by a completely different person. Both Kenneth Branagh. I don't know. But what I do know is that this concludes today's class with the incidental subject, how to ruin a period movie with inappropriate CGI. Class dismissed. Don't forget to leave bribes for good grades in the comments, and I'll see you animals tomorrow. Peace, love, and fantastic mustaches, you goobers.